the Irish rugby team, or the team that claims to represent Ireland, isn't. It represents the IRFU, the Irish Rugby Football Union. They don't even play the national anthem when they play outside Ireland, and they don't fly the Irish flag when they play outside Ireland. So how can they represent Ireland? That really gets up my nose. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. You're on Alpha Omega occasionally. This occasion, we're talking about an occasion where, well, an occasion that might not happen. I'm not going to say never, because you never say never, but I would prefer never to go back to the Republic of Ireland, having moved to Thailand. I could broaden that argument by saying I would hope to never go back to living in the West after moving to Thailand. And I'm not talking about, well, I'm talking about Thailand specifically. I talk about the West in general, Ireland specifically, Thailand specifically, Southeast Asia in general. So this is a kind of a broad kind of argument, but it's fairly specific, and I give some reasons, genuine personal reasons, as to why I prefer to live in Thailand stroke Southeast Asia as opposed to living in the Republic of Ireland stroke the West. If you're interested in this, stay tuned. When I moved to Thailand, I had no real idea of what to expect. I'd been here once before, many years before, but only for a few days, and I didn't really get to grips with the culture. While there's a lot of things about Thai culture that, takes a bit of getting used to, I don't miss anything, and I mean anything, about life back home in Ireland. We could extend that to the West in general. But to be specific, you don't have to look very far on the internet or search too much on the internet to realise that the cost of living in Europe, well in Ireland in particular, it's through the roof. There's a thing called the housing crisis in Ireland. Mosquito or something? No. The housing crisis in Ireland. I don't know if it's still going on. I presume it is. But you see, the thing that drives me nuts about Ireland, about Dublin in particular, the city fathers, whoever the hell they are, decided that they can't have any high-rise buildings. So there are no skyscrapers in Dublin. Not that I want to see skyscrapers in Dublin, but they have a housing crisis. It's a lot cheaper to build up than it is to build out. Anyway, that's an issue, the housing crisis and the cost of living. You can get a room here, say an apartment, for 6,000 Thai baht. Now that's pretty cheap by European standards. In Ireland, Dublin, you'd be looking at over €2,000, €2,500 for, it's say, 50 square metre apartment per month. So that's one obvious no-brainer as to why I would never, and I mean never, underline never want to move back to live in the Republic of Ireland. I love my country. I'm so proud to have a passport, one of the best passports in the world, one of the most progressive, politically progressive countries in the world, socially progressive countries in the world. I've said it all before, I love Ireland. But the thing about living there is a completely different kettle of fish. The weather. Again, people have this preconception about the weather in Ireland. Ireland's not a cold country, per se. God, that's hot. But it's not a hot country. It rarely snows there. We call it Mickey Mouse. Well, I don't know if other Irish people call it, but I call it Mickey Mouse weather. It never gets too hot, it never gets too cold. It's kind of the Goldilocks kind of place. 14 degrees Celsius, 15 degrees, 8 degrees, overcast. I know it's overcast here today, but it's lovely to sit here in 30 something degrees and just chill out with a hot cup of tea. Thais drink iced tea. You can take the man out of Ireland, but you can't take Ireland out of the man, as they say. Anyway, but the weather again is a no-brainer. I couldn't bring myself to ever go back to living in Ireland based on the weather. That's number 2. Number 3, Ireland is a big island. It's one of the largest islands in the world. And I know you're going to say, what's he talking about? A lot of people refer to Ireland. Ireland is a small island. It's the 20th largest island in the world. And there are thousands and thousands and thousands of islands in the world. And Ireland's the 20th largest. And being the 20th largest island in the world, you'd think it would have a reasonable population. It doesn't. The population of the island of Ireland is something about, it's in the region of 7 million. And the Republic is just over, where I'm from, just over 5 million. And the thing about it is, there's no people. Bangkok, as you can hear, as you can see, is buzzing 24/7. And I'm not just talking about Ireland in this, European cities tend to, on a Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, blah, 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 night, die away, fizzle out, the activity kind of fizzles out. I remember going to Paris years and years ago for a weekend and coming back, and I had an appointment with a client I had in central Dublin on the Monday morning, flew out to Paris on the Friday, came back on the Sunday, and I had this appointment early Monday morning in central Dublin with a client, and I parked my car in the street and I got out of the car and suddenly it didn't dawn on me. It hit me like a baseball bat. There was no people. Centre of Dublin, and there was no people. Paris, I don't need to tell you. So it's the lack of people that I could not handle. I just could not handle it. I was listening to another YouTuber, by the way. This could turn into a rant. Another YouTuber who's not Irish but living in Ireland, and he's talking about the housing crisis, and he's talking about people online that are vocal about Ireland being full. I mean, where are they going? Ireland full? Are you off your rocker? The 20th largest island in the world with 7 million people on it, and it's full? You see, these people are anti-immigrant. Well, I can tell you, I mean, if any of them are watching, there's 3 million Irish people born in Ireland who live outside Ireland, and I'm one of them. And I'm welcome in Thailand. And I enjoy living here. So open the doors in Ireland, the more the merrier, because I grew up in the 70s and 80s. Well, I was born in the 60s, but really sort of became aware in the 70s and 80s. And in the 70s and 80s, there was no immigration in Ireland. Nobody wanted to go there because there was nothing to go to. But now it's a wonderful place and it's full of opportunity, and we have many, many people coming in from all over the world, and it only adds to the culture. So those people who say Ireland is full, this is a side note, get your head examined. The attitude of the people. Irish people are known to be friendly, and they are. And they're probably one of the most friendly people in the world. Thai people are a step above that again. The beauty about living in Thailand is people are direct. They are, well, I won't say not everybody, it's a generalization, but people here tend to be direct. They'll tell you to your face if you're fat. There's the taboos that exist in Western culture, Irish culture, Western culture in general, don't tend to exist here. The social taboos. There's aspects, as I said, there's nowhere is perfect. So, Thailand has its own issues, and you've got to deal with a lot of things here, and I've covered that on lots of videos. But I never want to move back to Ireland. It's almost, the idea of it is almost foreign to me now. I mean that. I watch things on TV, sporting things. I'm not going to get into this, but you might as well know. I hate the rugby culture in Ireland. Absolutely. The Irish rugby team, or the team that claims to represent Ireland, isn't. It represents the IRFU, the Irish Rugby Football Union. They don't even play the national anthem when they play outside Ireland, and they don't fly the Irish flag when they play outside Ireland. So how can they represent Ireland? That really gets up my nose. So I'm proud to be Irish, and rugby is another one of the big things. Boy, it's a stone in my shoe. Rugby and the rugger buggers and the rugby culture, absolutely. I can't understand why so many Irish people support the IRFU. It doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, That's another reason. So I've covered a few bits and pieces, a few personal things there. I've let the cat out of the bag, let's say, on the rugby thing. But I consider myself to be loyal to my country. I love my country. But I can't live there. The cost of living, the weather. One thing that I didn't mention is the safety. You see, I'm all for immigration and bringing people in, but one of the side effects of that is that you bring in lots of people, and the crime rate apparently in Ireland has gone through the roof, like in Sweden, like in a lot of European countries, because of that. It still doesn't give any credence to the argument that Ireland is full. It's not full. The more immigrants, the better. How we manage it is our own business. But you see, the safety in Europe in general compared to the safety in Thailand, but specifically Bangkok, it's unbelievable. I just bought myself an English breakfast tea for 95 baht. That's almost $3. I left this camera, which is on a tripod, out here while I went in and bought my tea. I couldn't do that in Dublin. So there's another aspect, another reason why I would never want, and I stress never want to, because you never say never want to live back in the Republic of Ireland stroke the West. I'm sure lots of you have similar things to say maybe about your own country compared to living here in Thailand. All I'd say is that I've never felt so much at home than I do here. I really feel that this is the final destination, if you will. That's what I feel. That's what I feel. But I just want to finish on this note that I love my country. I'm proud to be Irish, but there's a lot of things about Ireland that I just can't handle, and I'm glad I don't have to live there. So guys, if you've enjoyed this video, and I know it's controversial, but if you've enjoyed this video, make sure you click that like button, the share button, the subscribe button, whatever button you want to press. Leave a comment, and I'm sure you will. Leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think, if you agree with me or don't agree with me. But all I'll tell you is you've got to be able to experience something before you can comment on it. I've experienced life in Ireland, I've experienced life in the Middle East, and I've experienced life here, and I can say categorically that this is my phone is talking to me, that this, maybe my phone disagrees with me, but that this is the place for me. So let me know what you think. Make sure whatever you do, you come back to me again, subscribe, click the subscribe button, the like button, the share button, do all those wonderful things, and I'll bring you back another wonderful video very soon. Thanks for joining me. Hello there.